100% sure. Okay, both players are ready. I'm just going to tell them we are good to go. Mana, go, go. Making 100% sure that Mana is ready. He was ready before, but since we had to wait for Lambo, and he said go. Alrighty, guys, getting ready for our PVZ between Lambo and Mana. Game number 1 is going to be played on Proxima. It's a big series for both these guys. Winner will advance to WCS EU Challenger. Yesterday, they were both one map away from making it. Secure themselves at least $400 and, of course, the chance to win so much more. $10,000 in total, Todd, for just Challenger.
Esports earnings.
And they're making waves. Mana is probably higher than you, huh? Isn't he? Yes, he is. You see that? Look
I don't know about that.
We can take a look at it, but Mana has been raking in that dough over the last few years. Yeah, a couple big ones. Talking about him, he's of course our Polish Protoss, spawning on the top side of Proxima Station. It's the one and only Liquid Mana. Wants to join his teammates, Uthermal, Dr. Dario himself, and Snute, who already made it into Challenger.
And his opponent, playing as the Blue Zerg, it's the iconic, the self-proclaimed nice guy who makes group on Skype, Lambo. You heard about that?
Yeah, the group Nice Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a couple of people got invited to it, and then Lambo just removed us immediately.
It had to stay private. I mean,
it has to stay Nice Guys, apparently, with Lambo as a leader.
Lambo is a pretty nice guy. There's not much bad to say about Lambo. Todd is meanwhile taking a look at Mana's esports earnings.
It's less than me.
Really?
I think, wait, he's got 167.
Well, after Challenger.
179. Whoa!
So he just needs to win DreamHack Austin.
Too bad he's not going to. I'm just kidding.
WCS.
I wish it for him.
Mana's still a young guy.
Then he would be on my level.
He's been around for a long time, but he's still got a lot of fighting spirit left in him. Proxima Station, our first map here in this PVZ. Are you expecting just an Archon opening here from Mana, or maybe are we going to see some Stargate play?
Yeah, out of Mana, I wouldn't put it past him to go for a Stargate. Like, obviously, the flavor, the trend recently in PVZ has been that Dark Shrine opener that we see a lot of the time, and that I'm sure he would be very good with.
I'm still not sold on it.
Did you see the NA games?
Yeah.
Where like Puck would go for double prism and like multiple Archons in Arras in many places. That looks really good, but it feels like it's something you need so much practice with.
I think CJ Entis, or former CJ Entis hero, does it quite a bit as well, right?
Yeah.
He's also a big fan of the double prism. Actually, all the heroes. I mean, even in the old days, Liquid Hero, he used to love his double prism play. We'll see. I don't know. I'm still not 100% sold on the Archon opening. I thought it was really good for a while when the Zergs would either underreact or overreact. But right now I feel they've kind of figured it out. And at best I often see the Protosses get even. So this time Mana's going to change it up. Yesterday he did it twice. This time he built a Stargate. And that's a really cool position on the Stargate as well.
Yeah.
This pylon powering all the way over here. I didn't know that. That's cool.
That's a sick pylon, man,
Yeah.
right there.
This field feels really big, no?
Because then you can make the gateways on the high ground as well, probably like quite a few of them too.
That is a very creative pylon.
TLO probably came up with it.
Of course, TLO's like, I was off racing and I found a good pylon spot. And Mana's like, all right, Dario.
Just give it to me.
Just give it to me.
Shut up. Stop bragging.
No, I want you to guess. It's like, no, I'm not playing this game with you, Dario. But it's so creative. I thought about it in the train. Mana's like, I don't want to hear about it. Just give it to me. They write Victor, and Nazgul is like, Dario has a pylon spot and he doesn't want to tell me. And Nazgul
Dario's doing it again. That's the name of the email.
Nazgul's like, all right, Dario, tell him the spot. Your teammate. Okay. Sorry, Dad. That's how I believe things happen in Team Liquid. It's a family after all, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Good Overlord scouting here, though, by Lambo. Yes, Overlords on top of the gateways and the Oracle. It's going to be Oracle into Void Ray. Interesting. You know, I've been playing a lot with Void Rays myself lately. I don't think Void Rays are necessarily the best unit against Zerg, but you can do some fun stuff with it.
You just get a single one, though, I think,
yeah,
right? Like, it's not necessarily commitment. You snipe the Overlords.
But I
Wait,
mean,
you were going to say? You're
I mean,
almost
just that-
relieving the flux vents times.
Yeah, just that Void Rays are kind of cool, you know, when you can make things work with Void Rays, because we haven't seen them in a while. I kind of like Void Rays, and you always try to get some cool stuff with them, but this is most likely just that one Void Ray that's good in hunting down Overlords. It's also good against any sort of roach pressure. It's going to make it a little easier for you later on.
Stasis Ward in the natural is going to be set up and actually catch a lot of these drones, and the Queen as well. Lambo not paying attention there for a second.
I think he was working on the rocks somewhere. He's working on these rocks.
Overlord on the second base of Mana is going to be sniped, but not before spotting the Twilight Council.
What is it going to be now?
From Mana, we see a lot of Storm play usually. So he will resort to that eventually, a lot of the time, I think. Go into charge, get Storm, get a lot of High Templars.
But he's actually going to open up here with Resonating Glaives dot. It's going to be Resonating Glaives first. And now I truly wonder how many gates are we going to see, because it's 3 gates for now. But we did see the robotics facility being wiped in. Now he's getting a forge as well. So
you know there's an explosion coming no matter what.
Yeah, that's what I was looking forward to. But since he's also getting a forge, I have the feeling that he's going to take his sweet time. Meanwhile, on the Zerg side of the map, we see the Hydralisk Den finishing up. +1 missile attacks as well.
Yeah, these adepts are forcing a lot of Zerglings, but Lambo cannot underestimate them. Like, they can get a lot of drone kills if you don't get enough units, if you're not in position.
It's a weird moment, though, to go this deep with your adepts, don't you think so? Because Resonating
He's
Glaives...
going to shade out, I think.
Resonating Glaives is halfway down.
He's trying to force units, and guess what? He's succeeding. Only units right now being made by Lambo, who's got a good drone count, actually. 64 to 55 probes, that's not bad at all here before he was forced into making more units. I don't think he's going to be too unhappy with this.
And I kind of think he wants to take the gold as his fort base here.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Since he's been working on those rocks for a while, and his fort is a little bit late
It's
otherwise.
only Hydralisks been made, no Baneling Nests. I wonder if Lambo wants to go for an all-in or if he goes for a Lurker Den here behind the Muscular Augments completing.
We're about to find
Could
out.
be either.
I like this fort base, though. That's a lot of adepts. The adepts could potentially easily get a kill on this fort, and that should be enough. It's going to be able to get a kill even. No cancel there. A little bit of a mistake by Lambo. That's expensive. If I'm Mana right now, I'd be like, well, cool, you know, if you have no fort base. How scary is a 3-base Zerg truly?
Baneling Nest starting here as Lambo realizes that there is way too many adepts for him to handle, which just Hydralisk gets the Void Ray here.
Rip Void Ray.
And I think Mana is realizing that there could be a big attack in the plans here for Lambo. Attacks the entire army, starts a bunch of additional pylons at the front of his wall. Second Robo on the way as well. He's already remade a Prism.
This is going to be a little bit difficult, though.
Storm's not going to be ready.
I would like to see just more adepts. I mean, there is no Baneling Nest here, so if you can get adepts on top of the Hydras, that could actually be useful enough. And with a cannon there and a Photon Overcharge, I think that Mana should be fine here. It's always scary when Hydras are knocking on your front door.
Yeah.
But with all these adepts and no Banelings...
And I think Overcharge should buy him enough time for Storm to complete. Don't shade in by accident.
That would be a bad shade. But
Storm almost there, seconds away from finishing, and he's already got 3 High Templars with quite a bit of energy. If you can land 3 Storms on this army here as Mana, you're going to be in great shape, but you need those Guardian Shield almost available on that 1 sentry, but not quite yet. He needs to buy a little bit more time.
Yep.
And Storm 10 seconds away from finishing there. He needs that.
Still no fort base for Lambo, so I don't want to call this an all-in, but it's safe to say that he needs to do a lot of damage. And if he doesn't get it, High Templars coming forward. One Storm does connect, does decent damage. But I believe one of the High Templars got picked up as well. The Hydras can get a snipe. Second Storm doesn't really do all that much. If these are all the Storms, then I'm starting to get a little worried here for Mana, even though Photon Overcharge is great and Guardian Shield is great as well. This is really close, but with the extra Adepts coming in, is there enough Protoss here, Todd?
Yeah, Adepts across the map, sniping a couple of drones. Mana is going to move out against this army and try to fight it head on. He's got too many Adepts, I think, for this Hydralisk to handle, and it looks like Mana is just going to clean up.
War Prism is still alive, like you said, got a couple of drones and also force all these drones to temporarily stop mining.
Mana is so rich. He's got Immortals skewed here behind the ones that he's already got, producing in these robos. A ton of gateways. He can just make a ton of units from there. Baneling Nest.
No, that's weird. That's
being remade?
No, being made.
He was making one earlier. He must have cancelled then.
Maybe after he lost the fort and he felt he couldn't afford it. Hydras will try to get the Prism, but that ain't gonna happen.
At this point, it's almost like a desperation move by Lambo, who's behind in the supply now.
Yeah, I mean, how else are you gonna come back as a Zerg, right? Against this type of army. The only thing that I would like to see from Mana is some more High Templars.
Yeah, that Prism across the map. Is it Deep Waters? Oh my god, that was what? Lambo was fishing for it, and then he moves the moment the Prism moves there. That was sick.
Oh. When it rains, it pours, though, then nothing's going his way. You can charge on the way now, but Lambo never remaking this fort base. If you take a look at his main, it's starting to run very dry. If this fort was actually up and he could start mining of the gold, I think pulling everything doesn't really make much sense.
Yeah, and they're starting to be a really insane amount of immortals here with 6. And more on the way, +2 now gonna start as well for mana.
And as long as you leave just a couple of adepts and archons behind to deal with those zerglings, these immortals are going to reign supreme on the ground. Excellent against banelings, excellent against hydras as well, even though they're not supposed to be good against hydras with the barriers. And if you can just pop a guardian shield here and there, and you have enough of them, then it's going to be good enough. As the War Prism is still active as well, left bottom side of the map. Getting a few more links, but you know, time is right now on Mana's side. The longer he waits, the more storms he will get, and he knows that his fort base was super late.
Yeah, and he knows that there's no also likely transition out of Lambo. Like the only thing that could give him a hard time is lurkers. But even if there was lurkers, when you have this many immortals and this much units as Protoss, you're not that worried about them. So in this case, it's a lot of links, a lot of banes, and a ton of Hydralisks here to try and take on this Protoss army. War Prism sneaks across the map. It's actually going to get all these Hydralisks here, even though the War Prism goes down. So
Yeah.
this is very dangerous, and he's going to force Lambo to Samson units there here to make sure he can defend properly, and he's losing a ton of drones in the process.
And that could be the cue for Mana to step on creep. Even though he's still chilling, he's like, no, I'm gonna get my fort base. I have plenty of High Templars. Mana knows that his army is simply better than the army. He's getting Blink as well. He's getting all the Twilight upgrades.
Protoss army is better than the army.
Good old Tillerman. We all miss that legend. 112 supply against
So many
96.
storms.
Maybe if Banelings could somehow connect with a couple of force fields in the mix as well.
Okay, you can't miss the storms there. If Banelings connects too badly, it's going to be really bad for Protoss, so Mana needs to worry about all these things. He's going to tag the army here. He could even set up some 6 Stasis wards to force the Zerg into him. And right now, Lambo is looking to try and set up a flank from multiple sides.
The Adepts have spotted it though. This could be the moment that Lambo decides to go
Mana
for
left
it.
a bunch of Immortals on the left-hand side. What is that?
Oh, that's a lot of Zerglings though. Is there enough to deal with all this Zerg? I mean, the attack is a little desynced. It's about to finally complete. Storms will land on both sides though. You can just trigger your storms left and right now as all the Banelings roll forward. But this Protoss army thought it has so much hit points. All that Mana needs to do is wipe in a few more Zealots and then he can clean it all up.
Wow.
Or maybe he doesn't even need that.
The psionic showers landing on the entire Zerg army here and cleaning up very quickly.
It was a very interesting attack, the first one by Lambo, just pure Hydra Ling with a super late fort base where he tried to take it, but he didn't take care of the rocks in time, so the fort was a little low. Wait, hold on. Sorry guys, the admin is reaching out to me as well. A lot of things are happening at once, but yeah, without Bane's stud, it's kind of hard to make an attack like that happen, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like, I think he was just too far behind after the initial attack here, Lambo. He committed everything he had to this Hydralisk attack, and maybe he had to go for it, even against overcharges. Snipe the Spinons, go for it. Like, he must have been able to kind of feel like there was not going to be Storm ready just yet for Mana, and if he had gone for it, maybe he could have broken through, because once Storm finishes and there's 3 High Templars with it, even though like you can dodge for the most part these Storms, Protoss is at home and reinforcing with a lot of gateways.
Yeah.
And I have to commend, actually, Mana's macro was really good. Like, with all that was happening, he had just enough gateways that he could keep on reproducing a ton of adepts at the same time. The double robo was the exact right amount as well. Not 1, not 3, just 2.
All right, we are getting ready to hop into the second map on Abyssal Reef, which is actually going to be the last series of the day. Things are running a little late over here in this tournament. We're a little later than yesterday, and we don't want to make the other players that are still waiting wait too much longer. We don't want to let them play their games at midnight. Mana's very eager to start, Lambo's eager to start, so there's plenty of other language streams available as well, guys. So if
There's personal streams as well. Stefano's streaming his own games.
And so maybe if you're looking for Denver against Beastie, you should be able to find that maybe at Emil or Naruto or one of the guys. But our eyes are going to be on Lambo versus Mana, since obviously if you start something, you have to finish it. And game number 1 was pretty good. As we are getting ready to hop into Abyssal Reef one more time. It wouldn't be a StarCraft 2 series if we didn't hop into Abyssal Reef though.
Certainly wouldn't be. I don't know what game it would be, but not StarCraft. All right, starting in the top left-hand side of the map, playing as the blue Zerg. It is the German Zerg, Lambo. I said Zerg twice.
He's very Zergy, so I think people will forgive you. And over here in the right bottom side, can he be the 4th player of Team Liquid to make it into WCS Austin EU Challenger? It is Mana. That would be a pretty solid performance by Team Liquid in this WCS EU Challenger.
Well, when is it not ever, man?
True, true. Well, you know, 4 players out of the 16 representing Team Liquid.
Yeah.
I can already not wait for people whining on Twitter. It's like, oh, it's another Team Liquid kill. It's like, well, guys, if half the tournament is Team Liquid, it's kind of bound to happen, you know. Okay, it's a quarter, but still.
But still.
If it's, I mean, it's half in the second round.
They all meet in round 1.
Okay, that would be
2-2.
bad. Then they can whine. If it's like Mana against TLO and then it's Snoot against Utermo, okay, then we can complain about the Team Liquid kill. But in the quarterfinals, if they have 4 players in the tournament, you can't complain about it, guys. That's just how this works.
They must dodge each other until it's as late as possible, Roddy.
It's like
so
in the
it goes.
semifinals that all 4 of them win. It's like, oh my god, it's a double Team Liquid kill in the semifinals and the finals. This has to stop. It's like, well, you know, if they all win their games, it's really, there's no other way, you know.
They need to start losing more. They're not very good at it.
Like, well, I would have rather seen them losing round 1 to a stranger than to see them beat each other in the semifinals. It's like, no, I really don't think that they feel the same way. Like, they're okay with this.
How do you like the shark on that map?
The space shark.
Sharking around, like in control.
I don't know where it is. Most of the time the shark is like here somewhere, look. He's stuck. Hey, little guy.
Speed on the way here for Lambo. Whereas Mana, we saw him open Stargate last game, and he did okay with it. Like that first Stasis ward actually was huge. Like if you can trap 5 drones and 1 queen in it, definitely does the job. Better than flying in and killing 3 drones, I think.
Yep, especially if it dies afterwards, which always happens to mine. Once again, it's going to be a Stargate. So Mana is switching things up yesterday, going multiple times for those Archons, Dark Templars, and that War Prism opening. Lost 2 games in a row. He's like, all right, I've had it. I am so done losing against Mutalisk. He didn't want any of it.
Stefano just played a sick game against Soltov. I don't know if it was like first game or not, but seems very happy with himself.
Okay, well, that's good news, right?
Yeah. If he wins, he will face Zenster in the qualifying match in another ZVZ. I love watching a bracket like this, seeing all these flags and the whole of Europe truly represented.
I think, once again, if you guys just joined us, we'll be back, of course, after this on Friday and Saturday, and that's when actual WCS Challenger EU will happen. It's basically a mini European Championship, Todd. You're looking at 16 of the absolute best players that Europe has to offer. You're going to see amazing matchups, perhaps like Nurcho Utermal, Nurcho against Showtime, Showtime against Snoot. I mean, if you love StarCraft, it's very, very hard not to get excited over stuff like that.
It's really lacking in Terrans though right now. It's only Youth Thermal as the single Terran qualified.
Yeah. And which, well, Beastie could do it, right? Beastie?
Yeah, Daishi could as well.
Yeah, okay. So if you
and
get
then that's
Beastie,
it.
Yeah, if
we
you
could
get
get
Beastie and
most.
Daishi, that's
That'd
not
be
too
sick.
bad. There's a chance. I can see it. If we have any updates of the other qualifying matches, we'll let you know. The producer will always let us know, but this is actually the first one.
Okay, I think Stefano against Soltov was 2-1.
Okay. So Stefano against Zenster for a spot in WCS EU Challenge.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Stefano is coming back strong. You talked about it. I wasn't particularly feeling it, but he's looked pretty good.
It's the first Oracle from Mana. It's going to make his way across the map. It's going to try to get some damage done, but good position there on the Queens from Lambo. I'd feel for Lambo though, Todd. Both days making it into the final round of the Open Qualifier. And let's not forget that Lambo was actually close to qualifying through the ladder qualifier as well. It's like, God, it's just not meant to be for this guy, is it? That's just kind of a shame.
Oracle gonna fly in 3 more gateways being dropped down by Mana. It could be a whole lot more, considering he's going for a Prism and Resonating Glaives. Let's see if he keeps on making those gateways there, or if he stops now. So far, just gonna cut.
Only on 2 gases, huh? That's kind
yeah,
of crazy.
that's what makes me think he wanted to drop like 6 more gates or something ridiculous and then just go for like a ton of adepts.
Well, it's still going to be a ton of adepts, because that's already 6 gates of 2 gases and a Prism, and he already has 6 adepts at home.
But it's not 9 gates adept, though, is it?
It's not super all in, but Mana, who's not building any probes right now, he did all of this without a Mothership Core, by the way, so he couldn't really have gone it any faster. Lambo is kind of unaware of this Prism. Oh, I'd feel for Lambo if he dies to this. Does he have a Bailing Nest? No Bailing Nest. Maybe Mana picked up on the fact that last game Lambo was doing all of it.
No, he does have it.
Oh, sorry.
In the back of his natural.
All right, that's good news. But he doesn't have any Banes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see this coming. Okay, no, he's morphing Banelings. I think he realizes what's happening there. He's morphing them around his third base, which is, by the look of things, where he's going to be hit.
Well, 10 Banes could be enough, especially if Mana makes a bad shade. Still more units on the way for Lambo. So Lambo, even though he didn't really see it, it's like he feels it perhaps. A little bit of that spider sense that some of these Zerg players have. And he's on 65 drones.
Oh, he's trying to stay outside of the range of the shade here with the Banelings to try and blow them up.
A couple of Adepts will get surrounded immediately. That top side gets cleaned up.
Big Warping in the main though, for which Lambo is not ready at all. He tries to target the Warp Prism with the Queen, but these Adepts are gonna snipe that one.
Yeah, Lambo needs a few more Banes as he used the majority of his Banes. That shade is going to get cancelled, but Mana needs to do a lot more than he's been doing so far though, Todd. The Oracle is going to join up as well. That's very nice.
Stasis Wall is gonna be set up there to try and prevent a lot of these Zerglings and Banes. To be able to fight against this, Mana can just pull back there, make sure he protects it as well.
This army, this Protoss army, beautiful split on the Adepts right now. It's going to be very hard for the Banes to get the connections that they're looking for. And these Adepts are just wreaking havoc right now in the main base of Lambo. Going to town.
Cancel shade, or is
he's going to let it finish. Yeah. He's going to wipe in on the low ground as well.
He has so much here. Mana looking unstoppable here in the game number 2.
I think this is it, man. Look at all these Adepts. There's still so many Adepts alive. Not that many Banelings alive anymore. Still 56 drones.
By the way, he added 2 more gates. It's 8 gates in total here by Mana.
Oh man, poor Lambo. I think this is it, Todd. I think Mana is going to be the 4th player of Team Liquid that's going to make it into WCS EU Challenger after he is taking care of all these drones. And poor Lambo got close in the ladder qualifier, got close yesterday, and made it to the final round again today. But it was just not meant to be for our German Zerg. Congratulations to Mana though.
Sad for Lambo, but Mana makes it. Team Liquid's still at the top over in the European scene. All of their very strong player.
Alrighty, so that means that we at least have another Protoss that advance. All the other matches haven't been decided yet though, Todd.
Yeah. Mana, our 5th Protoss, joining Showtime, Hearthstone, T-Drogo and DNS.
Yeah. I believe everything else is currently on the way already though. So I don't think we can hop into anything. Yeah. Oh, Gaming is covering BCT versus Denver. So if you guys are eager to see the Terran that can do it all, you can hop over to Gaming and you can check out the TVZ there. That's good news as well.
I'll try to check quickly who's doing what.
Naruto was in the PVZ. Yeah, Naruto was in. Emil was in the Lambo game as well. Obviously, would like to let you guys know where you can find the last games. We can take a look at the...
Stefano is streaming his own games. A lot of people were in that Lambo Mana game.
That always happens. That's when people get upset. So Stefano versus Ensor, I guess, is about to happen, or maybe has just started, because there is obviously a little bit of a delay on that.
Yeah, they're doing vetoes on Stefano's stream right now.
All right. So what's it going to be, my friend Johan Merlo?
What?
This is the end?
I don't know. I'm not in charge here. I'm a caster. I have no power.
All right, we can, maybe the admin can let us know, or our producer can talk to us. Because if all the games started, then obviously there's no point for us to sit here. If some of them have not started yet, then maybe it's our duty as casters to bring these games. I mean, BC's definitely started. And
let's go to a break and then we can come back and give an updates.
We'll let you guys know within a minute, then we'll go over the final moments, and obviously we'll let you guys know all the players that you can see in action, because once again, we'll be back for sure on Friday and Saturday, and that's going to be awesome. Can't wait for actual WCS EU Challenger. All the best players from Europe will be represented. But for now, we're going to head over to a very small break, and after that, we'll be back with our closing thoughts, or maybe one more game, but we can't promise that. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.